that the level flows with the new details of the default player package. So as you get in here, you can see that this is the Valhalla that you know and love,
except
reimagined
way prettier
as Ragnarok. So the Forerunner structures have changed. We've got, all new artistic details and elements that have been added. Let's take you through a tour of the interior of the base. So coming in here, you can see that still familiar elements, minor things have been added, but
do we still go inside the base to pick up the battle rifle?
No, that's actually changed. Weapon placement has changed in the map just based on the initial ordnance and the new ordnance system. Plus, because you can spawn with a BR immediately in your custom loadout,
yes.
There's no need to actually have it placed in the same location.
So do we still have a power weapon in the middle of the map?
There are power weapons in the map. Some of the initial ordnance actually spawns randomized locations of power weapons, one of which is the binary rifle, which is a one-shot precision kill weapon. It's the Forerunner sniper rifle, but the interesting detail about it is that whenever you do pick it up and you zoom in, there's a red laser leading exactly back to where you're pointing at, and it can kill in one hit any location. So you can graze somebody's toe and they will still disintegrate. So yeah, you can see familiar routes, familiar paths. Again, some of the details of certain jumps and how the rocks are shaped and some of those details have definitely changed. But for the most part, it's incredibly familiar and still plays just as great, though in a completely new way with the updated Halo 4 sandbox elements and loadouts.
So we have, back by the base, we have a Warthog, we have a Ghost, but we also have something else.
Yeah, one of the new additions and something that dramatically changes the way that Valhalla plays is the Mantis. So getting into the Mantis, you can see that the lines of sight in Valhalla from its original inception still definitely allow for good coverage when you're in vehicles.
Now, how can we? You guys have made a lot of updates so that the Banshee isn't as overpowered. You can use, or the Scorpion. You've slowed the Scorpion down. You can halt it by hitting it with an overcharged plasma pistol. What is the defense against this terrifying looking walking mech?
Well, the other vehicles do stand a chance. You have the Banshee, which creates some interesting and dynamic fights between the opposing Mantises. In addition, you do have Plasma Pistol, which can EMP the mech, and power weapons. If everyone's focus firing, you can pop the Mantis's shields, as well as doing enough damage to take it down with enough focus fire from the team.
So are there any vulnerable points to the pilot at all? Like, can you hit him in the head from behind or anything like that?
As far as I'm aware, there's definitely, there's not a specific weak spot against it, though you can mount the Mantis and plant grenades.
Can you board it? Can you take the Mantis?
You can destroy it. You can't take someone out of it.
Okay.
So otherwise, that changes the way that that Valhalla feels, or Ragnarok, our reimagining. But the other thing is that with the addition of armor abilities, which is new to the way that you would traditionally think about Valhalla, it changes the dynamic of the level quite a bit.
How so? I'd love to hear an example or two out of that. What couple of armor abilities might really shift the way this map plays and feels?
Well, first and foremost, sprint by default means that you can cover a lot more ground without the use of vehicles. So it gives you a little bit of an advantage in getting out of some of the distance combat. The other thing is just in general, you've never played Valhalla with armor abilities. So everything from jetpack to thruster pack, the shield, regen field, just camo. They all change the way that the map feels and some of the strategies that you can use. And the cool thing is that we've seen a lot of dynamic fights happen over certain areas that you would never get in Halo 3.